Okay, excellent. Hopefully everybody can see me. Oh, I can see there are 4 people that are all signed in. Excellent, that's great. So, good morning everybody. So I'm hoping you are doing fantastic. You're doing great. Yeah, I think it's a little bit darker here. Let me just get a bit of a hopefully you can see me well. And then it's a pleasure for me to be talking to you. And then I thought today we're going to do something a little bit different because most of the time, so we have every Sunday we send you videos that you are hopefully watching. And the whole idea of this channel, Renewables in Africa channel, is to make sure that we can demystify the sector for you, as we said. Because I'm sure you have many questions, right? Whether we're talking about you being an investor, potentially looking to invest into project into the continent, but you don't know how to take it first, right? So you don't have enough information, but you'd like to find out a little bit more before you can put in your money, or whether you are a practitioner, right? So you have projects and then, or you want to start a project, you like to get some more information because you're not sure very much about what's happening in the sector. So this is what the channel is hoping to provide to you, that additional information to make it seamless and easy. Or whether you also simply, I would say, a professional wanting to step into the sector. And this is actually this side that I want to talk about a little bit more today. And I have to say, this is the first time that we've decided to go live and engage with you. By the way, if you have questions, feel free to send it to me. So I'm sure I'll be able to see that in the comment box, and I will I will talk about that. And as I said, so on a regular basis, I have some of you commenting, liking the videos, and also leaving their detail. So before we finish today, I definitely will share with you a couple of names that I believe will be winning that free session. Right? They already have other people that want it, but I'm going to announce some few more today. Right? So that it makes it well. Let me just check. I just want to make sure that the list is all ready and here. Just a minute. Yes, excellent. I have I have the list in here. Okay, excellent. So let's carry on and talk. So the whole idea today, so it's about when you decide to, or when you're considering stepping into the sector as a solar entrepreneur, I'm sure you have many questions, right? And I wanted to tackle some of them. First of all, understanding for you. So, what is attractive in the solar industry? So, I'm sure some of you already have some ideas. The great thing about the solar industry nowadays is that it's clearly a growing industry, especially right now. So, you've seen, I think it was 2 weeks ago, the Biden administration organized a summit where they convened about 40 leaders from around the globe, and they made some pledges regarding the climate change. So you may be asking yourself, what is the connection between climate change and solar, right? Because it's not always obvious for people. Very simple. So without extending too much, so the whole renewable energy industry, it's an application of the measures that are taken to contain the climate change. Because in terms of climate change, there are essentially 2 types of action. You have what you call adaptation, which is how can you already handle and manage the carbon emission that already have been rejected, right? So how can you manage the consequences already? And then you also have the mitigation, which is how can we make sure that we can slow down new rejections? And this is where the whole renewable energy sits in. Because the whole renewable energy, it's about how can I produce energy that is clean, that don't have or have very few CO2 emissions, right? So that's where it's all about. So what I was just gonna say, it's the sector is gaining more and more importance. I think I've been in the industry for more than 10 years, and I can tell you that clearly now is probably the best time to step in. right? So it's a very attractive and growing industry. So globally, I have to say. Now, if you, for example, from the African continent, clearly as well, I think the Africans and African leaders are looking more and more towards the sector to see how they can plug the gap regarding the electrification that they're having into the into their country. So that's the second reason that you want to come and step in. And it's a new industry, right? In inverted commas, right? So when I say new, it doesn't mean that it suddenly has appeared, yesterday or a year ago. No, solar, for example, right? So the industry has been growing out for the last 10, 15 years, probably 20 to some extent. However, if you compare that with other industries, it's relatively new, right? And when we say that, it means as well that there's new opportunities for you just to step in. And I'm saying that speaking here, reminding you that for those of you who know me, right? So I actually was working in another industry. I was in the automotive industry. I wasn't in this in the solar before. So this is so I managed to step in. That's what I'm saying. As a new industry, you can come in and find your place, right? So that's the thing. If you're hearing some background noise, don't worry. That's just my children having some fun. So it's a new industry, so you can step in. So basically, reason number one, the industry is growing, clearly, right, and it's gaining more and more momentum. So that's the right one for you to be looking at going forward. The second reason, if you focus, for example, the African continent, you want to know that the continent tends to be more and more open towards this sector and are looking towards it to plug the gap of electrification, clearly, right? So that's second is the second reason. And the third reason, as I say, as a new industry, there are new opportunities. There are opportunities for you to step in, right? Because there's more people that are needed. Now, I don't know whether if there is any questions, guys, feel free to share that with me so that I can respond to that. But if I don't see questions, because I can see a number of people have connected there, I don't see questions. I'm just going to carry on. So the question now, I responded to the question of what makes the solar industry attractive, right? Now, the second question I wanted to answer was, what is the market, right? Because the title here was stepping in as a solar entrepreneur, right? That's very, very clear and simple. By the way, you can also decide to step in and do it more as a, how can I say that, social enterprise or charity, no problem at all. Yeah. But but for the purpose of this video and of this live, I'm going to focus on people who want to make it a business, who want to earn money, earn their living out of it, right? So that's what I want to focus on. And to make it quick and simple, so the renewables energy, especially solar, you have multiple sectors that are inside it, right? So you will have the utility scale. Those are the large projects that connect to the grid, right? So then you have everything that's linked to commercial industrial sector and also a mini grid. And then you have the smaller, which is the third one, which is solar home system, right? Which is simply a single panel that you install on top of a house. You use that to power, I would say, a couple of light bulbs inside the house, or maybe mobile phone, and so on and so forth. So, for the purpose of this conversation, I'm going to focus on where us renewables in Africa we spend more time, which is in the middle bracket, which is the commercial and industrial sector. And this is where I want to show to a lot of you that there's clearly a business case. So what am I talking about here? I don't know if you're aware that, so if you're looking at, okay, I'm also going to focus on the case in the continent of Africa, but there are similarities in other places, especially emerging market. In the continent of Africa, so there was a survey that was done, right? And what was found out is close to 80% of businesses or firms experiencing power outages. Let me repeat again. 80%, 8 out of 10 are having power issues, right? Clearly. And the difference between a business and a household is that as a business, when you're having those issues, you can't just ignore it, right? So if I'm just, let's say, Mr. and Mrs. Everybody sitting in my house, I'm watching my football game, there was a power cut. Obviously, I'm annoyed, I'm pissed off. But I carry on with my life. That's it. I'm just gonna wait for power to come back. As a business, you can't because you have commitment. You have people you employ. You have to earn money. So you gotta find alternative solutions, right? And like I say, 80% of them. And by the way, when we say they have power cuts, so on average as well, those power cuts, depending what country you are in, it will last between 4 to 15 hours. So that's what. So if you can imagine you're having an episode like that, like 2 or 3 times a week, that's crazy. So that reminds me that that was one of the business we were engaging with. I can't mention the name of the business, obviously. So it was Southern Africa. That's what I can say. So they were losing up to a month and a half of labor in a year due to power outages. I don't know if you can picture that in for yourself. It's almost like, you're working for the whole year, but for a whole month, for a whole 6 weeks, what you've done, nothing. Has been absorbed just because you were having power outages. So that's what we're talking about here. So at 4 to 15 hours, that's huge. So what are they doing? So what they are doing, it simply is they reverting to the solution that everybody knows about, which is the diesel generators. That's what they're using. And again, same survey was actually showing that out of those businesses, 50% of them are, no, actually more than 50% of them, was 53% precisely, more than 53% using diesel generators, right? So because, as I say, they're not households. They need to find solution because they need to keep on going. So they're using generators, right? Just to fix the problem they're having. The trouble, this is what the trouble is that those generators, most of the time, the cost of running them is 3 times the cost of the grid tariff. I don't know if you know, but in many countries in the continent, so you have your grid tariff, which is something between $10 all the way to $14, right? So that's an average. Yeah. So obviously some are lower, some are higher. But what I'm telling you is basically running diesel generator, right? Can be up to 3 times as much. That means you'll be paying 45. Let's say it's 14 dollar cents per kilowatt hour. So that means you will be paying 42 cents per kilowatt hour when you run those diesel generators. So that's why it's obviously huge. So ultimately, they're seeing high energy costs, and that's why you're hearing that if you're closer to the market, or if you're a business in Africa, I'm sure you recognize yourself. They can see high energy costs because in many of these countries, not only the grid has high energy costs already for them, that same grid is unstable. So I mean, I'm paying for something, I'm not even getting the service that I should be that I'm paying for. So that means I'm really pissed off, double, right? And then on top of that, they need to be using diesel generators. So that means the cost is even higher. So that's the problem they're having. So meaning that they are they're desperate. So many businesses are desperate to find a solution. Yes, they use a diesel generator because that's the best solution they have at the moment. But they also have heard that, solar could be a potential option for them. So this is why now the environment is quite right for people who want to step into that and know then how they can approach those businesses to offer them these kind of solutions. And I know many companies already are taking advantage of this current situation, right? And are reaping the benefit, right? And I have to say, as a company, Renewables in Africa, we're now focusing a lot on commercial industrial because we find it very, very interesting. So this is what I was telling you that clearly there is a market, right? So for business, especially if you want to serve businesses, there is a market. And the reason I've insisted on business is because I say they have a lot more pressing need compared to the population. So that's what we have. But if you prefer to be serving residential customers, I would say equally, the market as well is growing because people are just fed up, right? People want convenience of life. I'm giving you an example. If I'm watching football, as I was talking before, right? In the continent, we love football. You're watching football. You're watching the final, Champions League. Somebody is about to score, and then power cut. Could you imagine how disruptive this is? Or maybe you're having a party, you're having a good time. Yeah. So people are fed up with that. And now, especially those who are earning their money well, their life well, so looking for alternative solution. So clearly the market is there. So that's what I wanted to demonstrate to you. So the market is there. Yeah. So I've demonstrated to you that solar clearly is an attractive business because the momentum is building. The market clearly is there. So now, what's in it for you? That's the question. What's in it for you? I'm sure with what I've just shared with you now, it becomes obvious. If you're a company already operating in the sector, clearly I've demonstrated to you that there's a market for you where you can go and tap in and start serving customers, right? And I'm sure you'll be quite happy with that. If you're an investor, clearly, if you're looking for a project where you're going to go invest your money, that's an opportunity. Okay, it depends if you are happy to work with such with as a lower bracket in terms of the size of the project, right? So if you're only looking for utility scale, maybe what I've described doesn't suit you well, right? So, but you may have some other incentives for utility scale. But if you a business looking to invest into, and when I'm talking about CNI, just for you to give you an idea, we're talking about most of the time anything. If I'm looking for number renewables in Africa, right? So anything between, I would say, on aggregate, half a megawatt all the way to 20 megawatt, right? That's not a bad size, isn't it? Right? So clearly, there's an opportunity for you to tap into that and invest in such project if you're interested. And there are many companies that are good companies in the continent, right? So if you know how to find them. If you are a professional, right, and you're looking to step into a new sector, clearly there is an opportunity for you, providing you can acquire the right skills, right? And this is also where I wanted to insist on to acquire the right skills. Because remember, I said I started as an automotive engineer, right? So I was in the sector before. So, and I had to train myself. So training yourself, there are two ways you can do it. There is a longer way. It will take you a few years. So if you're okay to go through that, great. So if not thinking that I want to go faster, great. So there's also options, right? And then you can definitely look at this option here. So what I've been wanting to give you here, I can see there's a lot of, I will see there's some comment there, guys. I was so much in my thinking of delivering you the message that I had. I didn't see the comment, but I'll come back to the comment. Let me just first of all quickly finish what I have to say. So I was simply saying, I think what I've given you here. It's a quick version of the part of the content that we have in the workshop that we're going to be delivering on Wednesday, the 12th of May. Right. This is especially for people who want to step into the sector as a solar entrepreneur. Right. So what could be the faster way for them to get in a position whereby I say they can tap into the opportunity that I have been mentioning there. So please make sure that you sign up to that. So we will in the comments, I'll make sure that my team or me will put the link, right, of the workshop for you to register. Please come and see that. So I'll tell you more about my own journey. So you found out more about that. You can have opportunity to ask questions And then I'm sure there's a thing or two that you're going to be learning. But I just want to say, guys, thank you very much for supporting these channels. Thank you very much for liking our videos, for commenting. We really, really appreciate that. That's what makes us move forward. We have more than 200 subscribers now. We want more, right? We want to have thousands, right? But it depends on you, how you bring people, and then yeah. And also, if you like this live, just do like it. And maybe I'm gonna have more with you just like that on different topics regarding renewables energy around the globe and also in Africa, because we say our purpose, it's about demystifying this for you, right? So that more of you can look at that. Yeah. So let me now look at a couple of questions just to see. So I have Kemunto is asking me, how long have you been in the industry, and any challenge somebody can come across? Well, I have been in the industry. More specifically, I started developing an interest in 2008. So as you can see, I didn't have a gray beard by then, right? So by the way, it's also because it's quite hard to be an entrepreneur. I have to be honest. And doing business as well, so in the continent is hard. Yeah. So, but hey, that's my passion, and that's what I've chosen. The challenges, the multiple challenges. Part of it's how do you educate people so that they become knowledgeable about the service that you're delivering to them. And then it's a new sector, so they also need to learn it. And apart from that, you just have all the traditional challenges of running a business, which is about finding customers, demonstrating to customer that you bring value to them, whether as a service or as a product, and getting those customers to buy into it and ultimately to purchase some of your services or products, right? So I can just wrap it up like that. So I can see Justin say, we have many challenges in the sector that needs ventures. That's true. Yeah, if I guess you must be in the sector, Justin. Yes, there are many challenges, but there are many challenges anyway. Anyway, so, and as an entrepreneur, this is effectively how you are learning to go rounding, right? So I will usually say think outside the box, but I learned something a couple of days ago that I found quite interesting. It's not even think outside the box, even it's think outside the building. So you got to extract yourself from the building, right? So to look at things from a different perspective and look at what can I do, right? So for me, I go from the mantra, when there is a way, when there is a will, there's always a way. Always, always a way. You just have to spin your head many times to figure out what can I do and how could I tackle it. Yeah. So another question. For a beginner, what skills or training is required to launch a sustainable business in this domain? Can we get adequate training? So, Bryce, please, Bryce Audrey. So definitely make sure that you attend our workshop. My team, or later after the video, I'll make sure that I'll paste the link. Let me see if I can actually get the link here. I can give it to you right now. Yeah, that's it. I have it handy. So I just want to make sure that if I type it here. Okay, I posted it. So make sure that you sign up to this link, because we're going to go into the workshop, and that's exactly what I'm going to talk about, especially for beginners, because it's all about how do you take people from very much beginners all the way to an advanced professional. And by the way, you don't need to have a technical background if you want to do that. We've clearly took that. We've taken that into consideration. So I would say, Bryce, Audrey, you definitely want to attend that. And by the way, don't just come yourself. Bring anybody else who is interested. And the reason I'm saying that is because, like I say, so I've done the journey, and I know it's not easy to find information. Yeah, it's hard, right? You have information here and there. Where do you go? So this is why when you're running our workshop, we want to make sure that we give options to people. We get them to understand how can they go from where they are right now all the way to where they want to go, right? It's almost like if you're having your GPS, your sat nav, right, and you're navigating, you're driving. You know where you are at the moment. You know where you want to go. The question is what road do I take? And as you know, there are many. Now, there is a long road and there's a faster road. So which one is it you want to take, right? So we have I think it's Tafadwa. Yeah. I'm in love with this industry, but capital is holding me back. Well, listen, capital has been holding me back as well for a long time. But this is what I'm saying. You gotta become creative. You gotta look at things from a different perspective. Then you get an idea. How can you get to where you want to go? This is always gonna. And by the way, it's not just this industry. First of all, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you always have those challenges, especially money issues. You're always gonna have it, right? So how do you make it happen? That's what it's all about. So first of all, it starts by changing your mindset, looking at things differently, understanding the industry, understanding obviously what am I looking to do here? Who am I serving? So what service can I bring? Can I bring to that person? And what are the different ways to access it? And then look at what do I have right now? What do I need to make it to make it happen? How can I complement what I don't have at the moment? This is all of the thing that you want to figure out. Yeah. So, but I can tell you, it's clearly possible. So I just want to give you a word of encouragement. Okay. Will you have a recording for this session? Well, listen, as I said, this is live. So hopefully after that, we're going to just post it on our YouTube account. And yeah, so you'll have it. But Grassroots Water, please make sure. By the way, when I say Grassroots Water, I love the name because, there is a phrase that is called the energy, water, food nexus, right? Because all of that is all interconnected. Yeah. So you need energy to get more water, and you need water to grow agriculture. So and provide food. But I won't expand too much on that because that could be another subject for life. Okay, so Justin was saying, I'm already in the sector. I'm the CEO of Juma Fat Energy Limited, located in Nigeria. I will give you high five because everything you're saying. Thank you very much. So I really appreciate that, Justin. So I'm glad you say that because it's about getting people aware. Because I know that a lot of people want to step into the sector, probably because it's quite well known these days, right? So just get the momentum. Because I got into the sector, clearly it was already opening up, but it wasn't as trendy as it is right now. And sometimes people have a misconceptions. But what I can tell you in advance is, whatever you want to do, and it's true as well for the sector, for solar, for renewable, for any other sector you want to do, there's two things you need: time and money. You need investment in those two, right? So I also want people to be clear about that. So if you think that all of a sudden you're going to find yourself in the dream job that you are having, not having spent anything, not spending too much of time, I think I would invite you to revisit, right, this thinking with all the respect. So I have Svenja Karim. A group of students and I are in Stockholm and very driven to join the sector in Nigeria and working on learning more about it. Do you have recommendation to reach locals more? You mean reach locals in Nigeria? So if I would imagine this is what you're asking. So if this is what you're asking, I would say, so if you're thinking about, especially Nigeria, it's a country where clearly the sector is picking up pace, because Nigeria was a little bit slow off the mark a few years ago, but now they're definitely catching up. And there are a number of associations in Nigeria in the sector, and you clearly just want to be looking at those associations. You have the Rural Electrification Agency in Nigeria. That's a good one where you can already start tapping into people. And as I say, if you do your Google search, especially Nigeria is the biggest population-wise countries in the continent. So if you're doing some research about Renewables Energy Association in Nigeria, I'm sure you'll find you find quite a few. If we really stuck, I think someone from my team, you can leave a message in one of our social media. Someone from my team can give you a couple of idea about that. But yeah, I think those associations would be the first thing I will look at. Another option could be look at all the conferences that are organized, especially the one focusing in organized around Nigeria. Then when you join one of those conferences, I think again you're going to have Nigeria. I think it's quite easy these days to get involved with locals. Think about LinkedIn. Do you have any Nigerian group in LinkedIn or LinkedIn group, right? So if you have the LinkedIn group, this is already where you can also start looking for people, and this is how you're going to find and connect with local. Personally, I would think if you connect even with only one or two organizational association, like say Rural Electrification Agency, for example, then they'll be able to point you out to the right people to reach out to. I think that should be the good thing. So I'm probably going to be finishing the live soon, because I think I didn't think it was going to be half an hour, but thank you, by the way, because it shows to me that you were interested. I didn't really know what to expect. That's the first live I'm doing on YouTube, and I'm loving it, I have to say. Yeah, so that was, usually we have video that we record and we send to you guys. You like it, that's great, but we wanted to do something different. Oh, by the way, subscribe to the channel, right? Subscribe to the channel, share that, because it's all about publicizing the message and pushing that out. Okay, so Svenia, that's great. Okay, no problem, Svenia. I think if you liked it, that's great. So remember, we have a number of social media channels. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have YouTube, we have LinkedIn. We also now I'm on Clubhouse. So there's different way you can connect with us, and then come to our workshop. The link is there. Please do sign up. So we're gonna talk more. So we have our website, renewablesinafrica.com, because if you don't know, Renewables in Africa, we have two mandates. One of the mandate as a media platform is all about raising awareness about renewables energy across the globe. And the second mandate is to be an engineering company, bringing solutions on the ground where we design solar solutions for our clients. So most of the time they are businesses, right? That's what it is all about. So if there's one last question, I'm going to take it. And after that, I'll need to finish up because I got to go and have some food for my family. Any last question, guys? Or are we good? But yeah, so show, let me just say show. Okay, you can okay. So yeah, that Faithy Justin. Okay, no problem. So we'll what the easiest thing, Justin, I would say, just send me a LinkedIn invite, so I'll accept it. That's the easiest thing. Otherwise, I know myself, I may forget. Just Google for workshop. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. I think Go Green Energy was also providing the answer to Svenia. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, as I say, I had great fun. So talking to you on this live, YouTube live. So we see how we can post this session, on our channel for people who missed it. And then yeah, as I say, so connect with us on a regular basis. Join all our social media accounts, share the message, please, and suggest topic that you would like us to discuss. And then I'm hopefully next time there be a lot more than you. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna say bye, everybody, and thank you. Let me just write it, and thank you. And it was definitely fun, guys. So have a great Sunday and good start of the week for you. Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that.